Hello Voices, my name is Joe Troy and I'm a multi-award-winning voiceover and host of a VOICEOVER'S audio adventure podcast, a bi-weekly show where I learn about the voiceover and audio industry and share with you all the stories, tips and tricks along the way. Radio presenting. A radio presenter is a person who has an on-air position in radio broadcasting. We've all listened to the radio at some time in our life and all have our favourite presenters and favourite radio shows. This is an area I've always wanted to know more about. With so many voiceovers coming from this world or going into it, I wanted to know more. I wanted to learn about the skills needed to be successful in radio, transferable skills between the two roles, and ways to develop. Today's adventure is about, you guessed it, radio presenting. And I'll be speaking with the award-winning radio presenter and host, Ramel London. Yeah, so how you been?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I need to take one off. Can't hear myself. Yeah, I've been good. Just as you can see by my
I can hear by your voice. Your voice is your voice always like that?
How do you mean?
Raspy.
Yeah, it's a little bit raspier than usual today.
Yeah.
I did a voiceover earlier. I did a voiceover yesterday. It's been like full on with voiceovers, being out, events and stuff. So yeah, it's been busy.
You went to the BAFTAs the other day, right?
Yeah. So that was
how
for
was
a show I do on CBBC that I voice. So it was good. We didn't win, but it was really, really, really good. So that was a nice experience. So yeah, how have you been?
Oh, I've been working. Just working.
That's great.
Busy, trying to be great like you know.
I hear you. You are great. You are great already.
Thank you. So as I always do, I like for the guests to introduce themselves and what it is you do.
Cool. So my name is Ramel London. I am a TV radio presenter, voiceover artist, as well as host. So you can currently find me on Capital Extra. I voice a show on CBBC called gipSZ, and I'm literally everywhere when it comes to hosting around London, the UK, all that good stuff.
So how did it all start for you? How did you get into radio presenting?
So I went the really traditional route. I went to the University of Leeds. I studied broadcast journalism. I really knew I wanted to do TV and radio broadcasting. The main thing is that I knew I wanted to be a performer of some kind, but it was just figuring out what. And I originally was like a musical theatre girl, acting, singing, dancing, all that kind of stuff. I did athletics as well, which was really like quite a big part of my like teenage life. But it felt like it was really easy for me to be on screen, be behind a mic, like those kind of things were really easy. Whereas like acting, singing, dancing, it requires a lot of training and like a lot of rehearsal time and all that kind of stuff. And radio, without sounding like, full of myself, it was just something I found really easy and fun. So it didn't really require that much like, hype to get me confident behind a mic. So that was something I really, really enjoyed. I'm so glad I did it at uni as well.
Do you feel you said that it was pretty natural to you. Do you think that's also in tandem with the training you were getting, or do you think it's just something that was in you all the time?
I will say, while I was at uni, I didn't enjoy the course because it wasn't as performance-based as I thought. It was more theory. So we learned a lot about, documentary making, which I love now. I'm grateful for now. But at the time, I was like, when am I getting in front of the camera? When am I getting behind the mic? So we were learning how to set up, equipment. We were learning, I'm talking tripod camera. And I'm like, I do not care. I'm not going to be doing that. But in the long run, it helped me so much because especially when I left uni and there weren't presenter jobs straight away, I had to do be a runner, be a film assistant. I had to do the research for shows. And then I was a very much do-it-yourself YouTube girl. I was setting up my own equipment and like even now when I do voiceovers and all that kind of stuff, if I didn't know how to use Adobe, edit, audio and all that kind of stuff, I probably wouldn't be able to be as accessible as I am now, because I record a lot of the content that I make at home myself. I have the equipment, I already know what I'm doing. So that training and skill in terms of like how equipment and like productions work was vital and crucial for where I am now.
Wise, you would ultimately need to know what happens behind the camera before you jump in front of it.
I mean, it depends. It really does depend. But I think because of the generation we're in now, content creation is the easiest, quickest way for you to get in. So if you have a microphone, if you have software, you can start whenever you want. And that's the thing I've said to many people, like, get a mic, like just get a mic for your house, start practicing. You might feel a bit crazy, but like find some scripts online and like you can try and do it yourself. You can make your own demo and like, you know, again, doing work experience in a radio station, doing work experience on a TV set, you get to understand what is expected of you, what every job is. Because I think as well, a lot of people don't know what roles are even available to them. So sometimes you have to be on set just to see, oh, okay, there's a floor manager, a producer, assistant producer, the researcher. Like some people don't realize that researchers can actually be the majority of how a show is made. They found out everything. So, you know, you might think, oh, the person behind the camera, the person editing, the person presenting might be the main star. Nah, before you even get on set, there's probably been months of work done. So, you know, sometimes prepare yourself by being that researcher, being that editor, get in the studios, get in the editing suites. You can learn a lot more.
Do you remember your first interview?
Oh, what, interview with
As
an
in-
artist?
No, just
Anything.
life. Yeah.
Well, I started at Link Up TV, so
Okay.
that was a big part of my journey. So I remember the first day I was filming with Link Up TV, I interviewed Merkston, Stutter, and Baby Blue, and they were
Wow.
like killing it
That's
at
a
the
throwback,
time.
boy.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like that was
Yeah.
proper, like, you know, London grime and rap
Yeah.
culture. So 3 of those in one day, I just had to prep, get there and be like, cool, bang them out 3 in a row. And it was great. It was great. It's such a great experience.
Do you still have it to hand or access to it?
It's all on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Every single interview I've done is on YouTube.
No hiding.
Unfortunately.
I'm sure it was fun. But it's funny. It's funny when you look at stuff, you know, where you've come from. And at the time, you know, you were probably so excited and so proud of what you were doing. And I'm sure you still are, but you can just looking back at these things sometimes, it's just like, wow, I've come such a long way, you know?
Definitely. I mean, I really appreciate that I was a part of the UK music culture at a very early stage. So that is something I'm really proud of. Like I saw, you know, Krept and Conan before they blew. I saw Stormzy before he blew. I saw a lot of artists before they blew. So that is such a like, you know, testament to how deep the culture goes. And like, you know, I wasn't even, not always at the very start. We were catching them while they were like bubbling and buzzing.
Yeah.
So that could have already been like they're 4 years deep and we got first interviews with them and that's the first time they were online and stuff. So it is really nice to know that we played a big part in like creating or documenting rather UK rap, UK R&B, UK grime culture.
People always see people on radio presenters on Instagram and social media and YouTube, and it looks so glamorous, right? Do you want to go through an actual day in the life or morning in the life if you're doing a morning show? Tell them the truth or let them know what you go through to be great.
So, how I start a day, it depends what the day is. Every day is different for me because I'm a radio broadcaster, because I'm a TV broadcaster, live events host, voiceover artist. Every day could be a mixture of any of those. But for example, let's just say, for example, last week, what was a good day? Okay, actually no. I'll give you different scenarios. So voiceovers, usually they're at home. So I'll get sent the script. I'll get sent the visual that it's going to accompany. So if it's like, for example, I do a lot of voiceovers for Dave, which is a comedy channel. I will watch the video. There'll be a guide read on the video, so I know exactly what kind of tone they want. But of course, they'll give a description as well of how they want me to say it. Usually for me, if it's a promo, Dave ad, bit cheeky, bit bubbly, but usually fast paced because it's usually in and out, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, correct.
So you download that, set up my mic, set up my Adobe Audition to record. Sometimes the producer will accompany me online. So we'll either use Source Connect, which is a software where they can record from their end, but it's a bit dodgy. So I always record a backup. And also they might be on Zoom. So we might have a little chat, a little discussion about it. And again, they can show me the visual on screen. And then they pretty much say, off you go. Now, because I record at home, I actually record under a duvet. Industry standard duvet. I have found that a lot of soundproofing doesn't work for me. I have literally done majority of my industry standard recordings under said duvet, to the point where a production company actually asked what quality and what is it they call it, the type of duvet that you
Oh my god.
They literally said, no, what duvet do you use, because it's actually amazing. And I was like, I just bought it from is it even Matalan? No, I bought it from Wilco. And they were like, we need to know what duvet you got. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But I have found, like, I've got so many different, like, I've got this Studio Spares. I don't know if you can see, if you've seen this before.
Yeah.
Studio Spares foam cover for my mic. Honestly, it doesn't do as great a job as my duvet. So you'll usually find me under my duvet recording. I can usually do 2-3 page scripts in maybe 5 to 10 minutes, do 2 to 3 versions of that. And then that's usually how I get that done. Save it up, send it over. WeTransfer is my preferred option. And that's a voiceover. On the alternative for radio, don't need a duvet. I go into the studio. Capital Extra is based in Leicester Square. So I usually get there. I give about an hour before I go on air to prep. What I mean by prep is we usually have to do app links. Not all stations do this, but I'm pretty sure a majority of the stations at Global, which is our company, do this. We have an app called Global Player, which means that you can listen to the show wherever you are on the app. But also it means you can skip songs. And so because you're skipping songs of live radio, we have to premeditate that they're going to need to listen to us still. So we encourage them to still listen to the songs, but we let them know you can skip if you want to hear something different. And we give them options. We give them extra like insight about the radio station, all that kind of stuff. So that is a very Capital Extra, like, secret behind the scenes thing that
I've never known what the Global Player was. Like, I thought Global Player was just another department in Global that created certain content. I didn't know there was an actual app or player with it that, you know.
Yeah. So it's a platform like Spotify, like Apple, where you can listen to podcasts. However, for all of the stations, so that's Capital, Radio X, Classic, LBC, Heart, Gold, they are all on the Global Player as well. And you can listen to all of those stations whenever you want. But specifically because they want to give, Capital Extra listeners choice, you can choose different songs to listen to. And so with the skip feature, we have to have links prepared so that they know they're still listening to Capital Extra and they're still listening to me. So you can kind of tell them, oh, you're listening to Capital Extra, you can catch me on the live side, or you can carry on listening and pick whatever tunes you want.
Okay.
So that's a little fun thing. So we always have to prep for that every show. It's mandatory that we do that. And then on top of that, I'm looking for news, looking for what's going on. Because my show's on a Saturday afternoon, I keep it very like light and based around the music. So if I've got, you know, the new Stormzy track on there, we're going to hype up the track, the album, going to hype up the music videos and give you content and news around Stormzy and what he's up to. So yeah, we usually just have fun. I don't have a producer for my show. So it's literally just me in the studio having a party and chatting to people all over the world.
Cool. And you touched upon voiceover before. Was that something that you always wanted to try out, or was it just a natural progression, from what you already do?
Voiceovers was very accidental for me. I really wanted to be on air. And when I first did work experience at a local community radio station called Bang Radio in Northwest London, I was like begging them to be on air. They didn't have slots, didn't trust me. I was young. They were just like, please, whatever, just be an assistant for now. But they did like the sound of my voice. So they asked me to do a few ads here and there for the station. And because it's community radio, it's just like a favor. But then it got to the point where they asked me to voice majority of the ads, majority of the intros, jingles. And I was like, wait a minute. I am the voice of this station. And that's when I started realizing that voiceovers could be something I could do. That progressed. I then got one of the editors to make me a show reel because I was like, this is something I can use. And then funnily enough, again, the same thing happened, like again, very accidental. Started doing work experience at Global, at Capital FM, Choice FM, which is now Capital Extra. I was doing work experience there. Same thing happened again in the building. They were like, can we borrow your voice? Can we borrow you? Can we borrow you?
Can we borrow your voice?
Yeah, it was literally, oh, Ramel, you wouldn't mind doing this for us. You wouldn't mind doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And then the station manager of Choice FM at the time sat me down and he was like, right, I'm going to be honest with you. Your voice is perfect.
Yeah.
We want to make you the voice of Choice FM. And I was like, what? Okay, cool. So he offered to pay me. Looking back, it was a disrespectful fee. But hey, I had never been paid for my voice at the time. So I was very happy with it. Full transparency, I was getting £200 a month and I was recording probably, because I was there every day, Monday to Friday, I was recording probably 3 times a week.
Wow.
So if we all know the standard fees, I was being bumped.
Yeah.
So, but again, I made a show reel, got the editor to make a show reel again. Boom, I have a show reel for that at the time it was just a London station, which was great. It kept on happening. Same thing again. BBC One Extra. When I left Capital, BBC One Extra asked me to do the same. A little better. They were paying me per edit, but again, or per record, wasn't great. I won't air out their dirty laundry because that station still exists. At least Choice FM doesn't exist anymore. Even though it's Capital Extra now, it's different now. Yeah. But fees are way better under Global. Yeah. But at that point, that's when I knew, draw the line. I am officially a voiceover artist. 3 stations under my belt. I started putting my voice real out there. And a few years later, I joined Sue Terry Voices.
Wow. And you're still with them, correct?
Yep, still with Sue Terry Voices. Pretty much daily recordings at the minute. So it's great. It's great.
That's good. So you're out here. I'm sure I've probably heard your voice actually on Dave, actually, now that you said it.
Oh, do you watch Dave? Oh, then I'm all over that.
I see the adverts.
I
don't watch it, but I see the adverts occasionally. So yeah, I have this fun little game I play. Every time I see an advert on YouTube or whatever, I try to recognize the voice. It's just a voiceover
I also
thing.
play that game. I also play that game. Yeah.
So back to the radio stuff. If there was anybody listening that wanting to start their journey or is in the middle of their journey, what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
I definitely highly recommend you listen to the radio. And I say that because you will recognize that certain stations have certain styles. So I, for example, started off my broadcasting career on community radio and pirate radio. do what you want, say what you want. You know, you plan your show however you want. You'll realize when you get to national radio, for example, I was on One Extra for a while. You have a producer that encourage you to like do links, and a link is the talking time segment. They encourage you to do links, 3 to 5 minutes, telling stories, feedback from the audience, get them to call me, text me, As much as we do that at Capital Extra, Capital Extra is a commercial station. We focus on music, ads, and quick in and outs. So we're just keeping you company whilst you enjoy the music. Whereas sometimes BBC, more like, relaxed radio stations, they can talk, they can chill, they can, go with the flow. They don't have ads. They're not rushing to get to a time. So Capital X is really fast paced. So our links will probably be, for me personally, my most average link is probably like 30 seconds to a minute, but more on the 30-second side. So from One Extra to Capital Extra, I realized the difference in style. You have to be quick. You need to be short. You need to get to the point. It's almost like, I see it as like being a comedian. You need to know your punchline.
Yeah.
You need to know you're out. You need to know you're in. Like, you can make it as funny as you want. You can make it as chilled as you want. I love this song. Like, it's passion. So I say, listen to the station you see yourself being on and adopt that style. Not copy people, because that's not what it is. But you will know that we all have a style. We all have a way of delivering information on that station that you've chosen to listen to. So listen to the stations as much as possible. Listen to broadcasters and hear the way they tell stories, hear the way they go in and out, because it's really important. And I would say get as much experience in the radio studios as possible. I'm not saying you have to jump on air straight away, but get work experience wherever you can, whether it's community radio, online radio. There's so many stations now. If you can get yourself in a big national radio station like at the BBC or Global or something like that, even better. Bauer, Kiss, all those stations. But any radio experience is a start. So yeah, get in there, see how the studios work, how the stations work, and understand the culture of radio.
Yeah, it's a scary place actually if you don't know any of that stuff, because I way back when kind of looked into that side of things, and it's kind of going back to what you said initially. It's like there's so many jobs within radio, and I was like, okay, this is too much for me. Let me dip out for a bit. If it's meant to be, it will be. But it's definitely, you have to research as much as you can, because the more you know, the better stead it puts you in, especially when, for example, if you do get asked to do voiceovers and, you're getting paid £200 a month, you'll be like, wait a minute, you know where you stand. So yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you. Just the researching and just getting to grips with your sound and the station sound. So yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for that. But
no worries.
Yeah, so we're near the end. So I've got some quick questions to ask you, all right?
Okay.
So first one, what has been your favorite interview to date?
Favorite interview to date is with Common, hip hop legend. That was for a show I was on Sky One called What's Up TV, and we were just chilling. We were just chatting about his career, music, films, and he was just so down to earth, so honest, and like he proper bigged me up. He was like, "Yeah, I really enjoyed this." And I'm like, "Oh, love that." When your interviewee loves your interview style and your conversation, it's such a compliment. So yeah, that was massive.
Was he exactly the same as you imagined him to be?
Yeah, I mean, he is like, the sexy uncle. Like he's very, very charming. So it was really genuinely like a pleasure to be in his presence, because he was so relaxed and cool. So yeah, defo.
Awesome. Okay. What is the most interesting person you've interviewed? And what I mean by that is they actually surprised you. You didn't expect to get that kind of either energy or story or vibe out of that said person.
I would say Trey Songz. This was years ago. I was very conscious that, he, at the time, and probably still now, he was like a pretty big sex symbol to a lot of women. And I was very conscious that I didn't want to have a sexy interview.
Yeah.
And I just went in there with chat, banter, and I thought he could either take it one or two ways, but like he was very, very on banter as well. And he wanted to have a laugh and he wanted to be like chilled. And because I was worried that he was just going to try and like sexualize everything. Not saying that like he's going to be attracted to me or anything like that, or vice versa. I weren't trying to be like, you know, seducing him in an interview. I just wanted to know like, yo, what's life like for Trey Songz? And he was very open, which was really cool. And I feel like he gave us some nice little nuggets, which was at the time was huge for me. It was an online interview for Link Up TV. We didn't have big American celebs at the time, so that was great. That was really good.
Yeah, I remember Trey Songz. Wonder what he's doing now. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
This is really, you just throw me back. This whole talk is just like, wow, what's this person doing now? What's that person doing now? Whoa, wow. Okay. Who is your dream interview that you would like to interview that you haven't?
Even after all the controversy this year, Will Smith, definitely top of my list. I've always admired him as a actor, for what he's done in the TV world. Like, you know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was such a huge, iconic part of my life. And I think for a lot of young Black people's lives, like to see such a beautiful family represented in such a good way, that was major for me. And just how he transitioned from being a music artist to actor to personality, I would love to know more. And like, yeah, I genuinely was always like his biggest fan. Still on the fence about how I feel about all the Chris Rock situation, but that would be great to talk about.
Yeah. Is he talking about that at the moment?
I think that he apologized for it. He apologized for it, and he said he reached out to Chris Rock, and Chris Rock like declined. So I feel like that's still a to be continued kind of story. But now he's focusing on like doing more films and work. I don't know if his career is gonna like be revived the way it was, but we'll see. We'll see. I want to chat to him about it.
The world has a short memory these days, so I'm sure we'll see him
also
again,
that.
you know,
Also that.
But yeah, I'm sure it will happen, and I look forward to hearing it or seeing it.
Thank you.
Have you got anything going on that you need to tell the world about?
Yeah.
That we should keep an eye out for?
I have a podcast called The Mainstream. I also have, it's also part of a creative platform called The Mainstream as well. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, and it's all about sharing, very similar to this podcast, all about sharing insight into the creative industry. We've been doing a lot of events coverage recently, which is amazing, red carpets, interviews, and we seem to be thriving in this space of just, you know, getting access to places that, you know, a lot of people that want to get into the industry can now get access to. So we're planning on doing loads of events next year. The podcast will be returning for season 3. So please look out for that and follow at The Mainstream UK on all platforms.
Awesome. Go check it out, people. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence on my screen. People can't see it, but yeah. Thank you. And good luck with everything. I'm sure I'll be bumping into you at some point anyway. So yeah, thank you and good luck with everything.
Thank you. And I just want to say thank you for giving a platform for voiceover artists. Again, as we've kind of heard, we don't always get to talk about this part of our careers, and a lot of us are doing multiple jobs, you know, multiple streams of income are a thing, but I think it's really nice that you're putting a focus on voiceovers. So thank you for that.
Now, what did I take away from today's conversation? As with all professions, remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. And it is a multifaceted industry with a lot of moving parts. Be patient. Listen to the radio and know the different kinds of stations and presenters out there. Every station has a different style. Learn from others. And finally, community and online radio is a great place to learn the ropes and allows you to learn the fundamentals such as production, links, hosting, etc. Going back to the first point, remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. So starting with community and online radios will give you the perfect experience to build up to one day being on national radio. Thank you to Ramel for taking time out to speak with me today, and everyone for listening. If you want to check out more on Ramel and all the great work she's doing, I'll put some links below, along with my usual info and all that good stuff. Another adventure in the bag. Remember to subscribe and spread the word. And I'll see you next time. Bye.